There are moments when walking away feels easier than staying soft. When loving again feels like too much after everything you've carried. If you've ever wondered why love still matters when it costs you deeply, you're not alone. Jesus faced that same choice, and his decision still speaks gently to you. Some seasons test your heart more than your faith. You're tired, not bitter. You still care, but you're worn. If you've ever asked why God asks you to keep loving when walking away feels safer, this moment is for you. There is a quiet reason Jesus chose love when he could have left. There comes a point in life when loving feels heavier than it once did. Not because your heart has hardened, but because it has been used so much. You've loved faithfully. You've shown up when it was inconvenient. You've stayed present when it would have been easier to withdraw. And over time, that kind of love leaves marks. At this stage, exhaustion doesn't come from doing too little. It comes from doing too much without being met in the same way. You may still believe deeply, but you feel slower inside. More careful. Less willing to pour yourself out without knowing if there will be anything left. You've learned how to keep going quietly. How to be steady. How to carry disappointment without letting it spill everywhere. Others may see your strength, but they don't see the cost of it. They don't see the nights when your heart feels tired of holding things together. There's a particular ache that comes when love isn't returned, acknowledged, or protected. When you continue to choose kindness while feeling emotionally unseen. When you forgive again, but something inside you feels stretched thin. You begin to wonder how much longer you can stay open without losing yourself. You may not say it out loud, but sometimes you think about walking away. Not dramatically. Just stepping back. Pulling in. Protecting what remains of your heart. And then guilt follows. Because you've always believed love matters. That staying matters. That faith means endurance. This tension is exhausting. Wanting to love well while also wanting rest. Wanting to stay faithful without disappearing inside the process. And you wonder if God sees this quiet battle within you. If this feels familiar, it's because many strong, faithful women reach this place. It's not weakness. It's weariness. And it deserves compassion, not correction. When love becomes tiring, it's easy to turn inward with blame. You may ask yourself if you've loved the wrong people. If you've stayed too long. If you've been too patient, too understanding, too forgiving. You replay moments, wondering where things shifted. Because you are emotionally mature, you rarely point fingers outward. You examine yourself first. And while self-reflection can be healthy, it can also quietly turn into self-accusation when love hasn't been safe or reciprocated. There's also the pressure of spiritual expectations. The unspoken belief that if your heart feels tired, something must be wrong with your faith. That if loving feels hard, you must be missing something God is trying to teach you. But emotional fatigue is not a spiritual failure. It's often the result of loving deeply in imperfect situations. It's the result of staying tender in a world that doesn't always handle tenderness well. Many women carry this struggle silently because it doesn't look dramatic. You're not angry. You're not rebellious. You haven't walked away. You're simply tired. And because you still show up, others assume you're fine. There's also guilt around boundaries. The fear that stepping back means you're becoming cold. That protecting your heart means you're becoming less loving. So you keep giving, even when your soul feels depleted. This internal conflict can feel isolating. You want to honor love, but you also long for rest. You want to follow Jesus, but you don't know how to keep loving without losing yourself. It's important to say this gently. You are not failing because you feel this way. Your heart is responding honestly to prolonged emotional strain. And God is not disappointed in you for noticing your limits. You are not alone in this struggle. And you don't have to punish yourself for feeling it. Jesus understood this tension intimately. There were many moments when he could have walked away. From misunderstanding. From criticism. From rejection. From people who demanded much and offered little in return. He was not unaware of how costly love can be. He experienced betrayal, abandonment, and misinterpretation. He knew what it felt like to give himself fully and still be questioned. What makes his choice of love so powerful is that it was never forced. He was not trapped. He was not obligated. He chose love freely, even when walking away would have been easier. This tells us something essential about God's heart. Love, in God's design, is not about self-erasure. It is about intention. Jesus loved with clarity, with awareness, with boundaries. He withdrew when he needed rest. He stepped away from crowds. He did not explain himself to everyone. Choosing love did not mean tolerating harm. It meant remaining rooted in compassion without abandoning truth or self-respect. This distinction matters deeply for those who are spiritually tired. Jesus did not love because people earned it. He loved because it aligned with who he was. And he trusted God with the outcome. For those who feel weary, this perspective can be freeing. You are not called to exhaust yourself to prove your faith. You are not required to stay in situations that drain you beyond repair. Love, as Jesus modeled it, includes wisdom and rest. God's nearness is not measured by how much you endure. It is revealed in how gently He walks with you as you discern when to stay and when to step back. Jesus chose love, not because it was easy, but because it was grounded. And that same grounded love is available to you. Healing does not arrive with an announcement. It doesn't knock loudly or demand your attention. Most of the time, it comes quietly, almost unnoticed, slipping into the spaces where you've stopped expecting relief. For many women, healing begins the moment you stop arguing with your tiredness. When you no longer try to explain it away. When you stop telling yourself you should feel stronger, more grateful, more faithful by now. God is not asking you to override your exhaustion. He is inviting you to acknowledge it without shame. There is a tenderness in admitting that loving has cost you something. That staying open has left you exposed. That choosing patience, forgiveness, and understanding has sometimes meant putting your own needs last. Healing does not ask you to regret that love. It simply asks you to tend to the places where it has worn you thin. God's presence in this season is not corrective. It is companionable. He is not standing over you with expectations. He is sitting beside you, aware of how long you've been carrying this quietly. Aware of the emotional weight you rarely name. Aware of the moments when you wondered if it would be easier to stop caring so deeply. There is no disappointment in His nearness. Only understanding. Only patience. Only room to breathe again. Healing often begins when you allow yourself to feel without immediately trying to resolve. When you let sadness exist without rushing it into gratitude. When you let grief be grief, not a spiritual lesson you have to master quickly. Jesus never hurried people through their pain. He noticed. He paused. He listened. He honored the pace of healing rather than forcing transformation. That same gentleness is extended to you now. You may notice healing in subtle ways. In the way your shoulders relax slightly when you stop explaining yourself. In the way your heart softens when you realize you don't have to earn rest. In the way silence no longer feels like abandonment, but space. Hope does not need to arrive fully formed. It can begin as permission. Permission to rest without guilt. Permission to step back without fear. Permission to trust that God remains close even when nothing externally changes. You are not being asked to love harder. You are being invited to love more honestly, including loving yourself enough to acknowledge your limits. Healing is not dramatic here. It is quiet. It is slow. And it is real. There is a kind of strength that doesn't announce itself. It doesn't prove anything. It doesn't demand recognition. It simply remains steady, even when everything else feels uncertain. Waiting seasons often reveal this kind of strength. Not the loud kind that pushes through exhaustion, but the quiet kind that knows when to pause, when to loosen its grip, when to trust that rest is not the opposite of faith, but part of it. Many women have been taught that strength means endurance at all costs. That love means staying no matter how depleted you feel. But Jesus showed a different kind of strength. He loved deeply, yet He also withdrew. He cared fully, yet he rested. He remained compassionate without abandoning himself. Quiet strength understands that waiting can be protective. That delays are not always punishment. That unanswered prayers are sometimes holding space for something gentler, safer, more aligned than you can see right now. Choosing peace over proving yourself is an act of strength. Releasing the need to be chosen, approved, or understood by everyone is an act of strength. Trusting that what is meant for you will not require you to shrink or exhaust yourself is an act of strength. Jesus did not force connection. He did not chase acceptance. He trusted God with timing, outcomes, and people's responses. That trust allowed him to remain whole even when others walked away. You are allowed to stop striving for validation. You are allowed to rest in being known by God alone. There is freedom in no longer trying to earn what can only be received. Waiting does not mean your life is on hold. It means something is being refined. Sometimes it is clarity. Sometimes it is discernment. Sometimes it is the quiet rebuilding of your heart. This strength does not harden you. It softens you without breaking you. It teaches you how to stay open without staying unprotected. You are not weak for needing rest. You are wise for honoring it. Quiet strength carries you forward gently, not forcefully. And it is enough. If you have stayed with this reflection, it means something within you still values love, even after all it has cost. That matters more than you realize. Jesus chose love, not to pressure you into constant giving, but to show you what grounded compassion looks like. Love that listens. Love that rests. Love that knows when to stay and when to step back. You are not failing because you feel tired. You are responding honestly to a long season of emotional faithfulness. God is not disappointed in your weariness. He understands it deeply. There is no demand here to decide anything right now. No requirement to resolve your feelings. No expectation to be stronger than you are. Only an invitation to rest in the truth that you are seen, known, and deeply valued. Your story is still unfolding. Even in the waiting. Even in the quiet. Even in the moments when love feels heavy. Let yourself breathe. Let yourself soften. Let yourself trust that you are held by a presence that does not walk away when things become difficult. You are still loved. You have always been loved. And you do not have to earn that by exhausting yourself.